Hey, cool kids. Hope everyone's safe out there. Get this off. Welcome to the Something or Other Tour, Quarantine and Answers Q&A. Dun 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 dun, ba-dum. Since we can't explore, I figured I'd ask some questions, dig around in my pockets and find you folks some answers. I gotta upload something, you know what I mean? Goofs and gags. First I wanna say I hope everyone out there is safe. Everyone's doing good, everyone's healthy, making the most of their free time. And also a very special thank you to all the essential workers out there, those on the front lines in the medical field, of course, and our friends that are service workers and working at restaurants and grocery stores and delivery drivers and all that. You're keeping the foundation of society solid, and we thank you because it would collapse otherwise. So since I can't explore anything, I figured might as well ask some questions. Maybe there's some fun stuff we can talk about. Also, we do have a Patreon with a behind-the-scenes podcast that sometimes we tell behind-the-scenes stories and funny little tidbits and anecdotes from our travels. If you want to support us, you can check that out. So thank you to everybody that submitted some questions. Got some fun ones. I'm reading and questions and answers. All right, here's a good question. When did you start making videos? Let's see. When I was a kid, I got a capture card on my desktop computer. And I used to record wrestling, so I would record like WCW Nitro, and then I would edit it and cut up like cool moves to music. And that's how I learned how to edit. Then later on I got a camcorder and I used to take that to like Disneyland and stuff, so sometimes I'd cut that up. And then when I was older, me and some friends were doing music and I had this camcorder and I was like, let's just make a music video, and we did it all in one day. So I've always liked doing video stuff, but it's only been the last few years I've really taken it serious as like a possible avenue in career. Who was your first subscriber? I don't know, probably myself. Otherwise, I don't know, a friend, I guess. Maybe it was mama. What has been the hardest thing to give up through this whole situation? I'm a homebody, so it's really not that bad. I've actually been having some random health issues that's making it bad. It's been a few months of not feeling very well. So if it wasn't for that, I'd be enjoying this time. But other than just like me, myself here, sports for sure. Like I was looking forward to the baseball season so much. You know, going to a baseball game, that's like my happy place. That's like where I can just go chill, relax, eat a big burrito or a crab sandwich and just like turn off the world. So not having that is a real bummer. And we had some plans for some cool videos that aren't gonna happen, at least now, maybe later on. And also some opportunities that fell through because we got contacted by a team from a video we did and they invited me back, and I was really excited for that, and now, you know, it's all up in the air. I'm also bummed that I'm not going to be able to go to any XFL games, and I was hoping to go to that new arena football league. There's a team in Oakland that Marshawn Lynch is involved with. Best game you've been to in person? I'm lucky enough to have been at some really good games. Matt Cain's perfect game, that was, you know, once in a lifetime. I mean, there's only been 22, 23 of those in the history of baseball, going back like almost 150 years. So being at one of those was magical. 2012 divisional game against the Packers. The game where Kaepernick ran for 900 yards. That was a lot of fun. As a kid, I got to watch Barry Bonds and Will Clark and them at Candlestick. Saw Hideo Nomo the first time he ever pitched at Candlestick. The last championship game I did the video at, that was a thrill. Super Bowl! And then some games that weren't really like big games, they weren't playoff games or anything, that were really, really good. Some walk-offs I saw and stuff. I saw Steve Young and Jerry Rice beat the Denver Broncos on Monday Night Football back in '97. Joe Montana's number was retired at halftime, and the Broncos actually went on to win the Super Bowl that season. We saw Bumgarner versus Kershaw in LA, like that will always mean a lot to me. I went to a Warriors playoff game in 2014 against the Nuggets where we won. That was super exciting. It's hard to say, man. I've seen a lot of really cool stuff and I'm super thankful for that. I didn't think anyone would actually ask stuff, so thank you. This is cool. How many times have you spied on your neighbor from your balcony or patio? Not much of a spy. I could be, I'd be really good at it. I mean, I look like I'm ready to crawl through some bushes, huh? Would you rather trade intelligence for looks or looks for intelligence? Well, I mean, I already got both, so. I don't know, man. Most people say intelligence is better than looks, but ignorance is bliss, so intelligent people They know a lot about the world and how it works, and that can be frustrating and depressing. And then looks, you're just kind of ignorant. You can just have fun, go to pool parties and stuff. So, I don't know. Are you going to film any more NFL games? Of course, definitely. Whenever the NFL comes back, if it's this year or next year, of course. I've said it every time, but we're trying to have a video at every single sports venue in the country or the world if we can get there. Hopefully I have enough years left on this planet to make that happen, or a major donor can give us money to do it. When's the next album dropping? I don't do music anymore. No more albums. Check the archives. Which sport you missing most right now? Baseball right now, because it's supposed to be the beginning of the season. Basketball, you know, the Warriors sucked this year and it was a tank season, so don't really feel like I'm missing much. But baseball for sure, I wanted to go chill out at Arkle Park, have a crab sandwich, so I'm missing that. First place you want to take the show when this is all over? Good question. I have a huge list. There's some stuff not too far from here. Well, heck, since you guys are watching, I'll say there's a old cemetery. There's people from the Civil War buried in there. It's a National Historic Site, really cool cemetery. I'd love to do the history of that. I want to do a part 2 of Agnew's Asylum. What I snuck into on the old Agnew's Asylum video I did a long time ago was the East Campus. There's a whole West Campus. I want to do like a documentary on that. And then I also want to do a documentary on Seal Stadium, where the Giants first played when they moved from New York to San Francisco. I got a whole idea for that. And then of course mixed in regular explorers, and I was hoping to do a lot of baseball games, but who knows now. Favorite player on the SF Giants and Oakland Athletics? Favorite player on the Giants now is probably Brandon Crawford. And Hunter Pence is back. It's kind of a bummer we don't get to see him play. If we're talking all time, Barry Bonds, of course. That was my favorite player as a kid. He was like my favorite player when he was on the Pirates because my family actually knew him. They were neighbors in San Carlos when they were kids. My dad was friends with him. So I always had a thing for Barry Bonds. Love Royce Clayton. He was a shortstop when I was a kid. I actually did a Giants summer camp, and Royce Clayton gave me batting tips and fielding tips and stuff. It was awesome. And I love Gregor Blanco, Bumgarner, a lot of people. And then for the A's, right now, maybe Chris Davis, because he comes out to Tupac. I like Sean Manaea a lot. Fun fact, I had a chance of going to his no-hitter and I wasn't able to go, which is crazy because on my count, I've missed 3 no-hitters that I was supposed to be at. I had canceled a trip to San Diego and I was planning on going to the game that turned into Tim Lincecum's no-hitter down there. I canceled a trip to New York to go to Citi Field, and that's when Chris Heston threw a no-hitter out there. And then Sean Manaea, I was trying to go to that game. I didn't go. My cousin went to the game. Super bummed out about that. My all-time favorite Oakland Athletic for sure is Ricky Henderson. He's one of my favorite players all time, any team. What's your favorite memory when you were filming? Oh man, so many good times. I think the trips with my brother to Portland and Dallas, all those episodes were so much fun.
We talking cattle drive here.
That's so sick. We should have known beforehand that it was gonna boil down to cock and balls.
And of course, taking batting practice at AT&T Park, dream come true. Wasn't the greatest video, but the moment. The very first abandoned place we did, the Blue Heron Paper Mill, super fun. The NFC Championship game we just did recently. I love all the Gold Rush stuff. Just being out there is awesome. Bodie was incredible. NBA Finals was a great memory, but it sucked to film. It was super frustrating, super difficult.
This is unreal, man. It's unreal. Unreal.
That's one thing. The sports ones, as much as I love live sports, I love doing those videos. They're the most frustrating and the hardest to do. Cruising around Lake Tahoe on the paddle wheeler, that's one of my favorite things. That was incredibly fun. Canditopia was fun. There's almost all of them, honestly. I love them. Also, it's really cool when people come up to me. That really means a lot. And even though we're still a tiny channel, shows that we can make something cool, you know? Which ballpark has the best food? Very good question. Now, I haven't been to all of them. Arkle Park, home of the San Francisco Giants, has great food. Citi Field had really fun options. Petco Park used to suck, and now it's incredible. They have a whole farmer's market. Pretty cool. I always hear that Arizona, though, home of the Diamondbacks, Chase Field, is the place to go for incredible food. I was hoping to go there this season, but surprisingly, The StubHub Center in LA, the small soccer stadium where the LA Chargers played for a while, we did a video. They had the craziest food options. It was like everything you could think of. That place was awesome. What was the scariest place you explored? Gotta be honest, here's a little fun fact. I really don't get scared. I ham it up for the videos, but for some reason I'm just missing that part of my brain that really gets like creeped out. I don't really get creeped out like that. The little bridge where Kara Knott was murdered, we had actually already been there, but we forgot the camera. It was really creepy the first time, but the second time it wasn't really that creepy. To be honest, I'm a very paranoid person, but only like for other humans. So the scariest ones for me are like when there's security and stuff like that, because I don't want to get in trouble. Oh, there's the security right there. Running from security is a lot scarier than any ghosts to me. Then the abandoned apartments that we found in LA, I was more worried about the gangs because it was a gang territory. Being alone on Alcatraz was weird. I wasn't totally alone, but I thought I was. There was actually a tour group that I didn't know was still there, but they were way on the other side of the island. And then I was creeped out in Slab City. We went to East Jesus, but that's because of people. So I don't really get creeped out of like ghouls and ghosts and stuff. That doesn't really do much for me. But I would say the murder mystery on a creepy bridge, the Kara Knott Bridge, was probably the creepiest because it was real, you know, it was like a real event. I made some missteps making that video that I wish I could correct. I kind of tried too hard to make it spooky and heartfelt, and it came across as forced, but you know, you gotta learn, you know, it's not easy being on camera and being yourself. And the abandoned hospital we did in Dallas, that was pretty creepy. Have you always been interested in exploring places like you do on your show? Absolutely, yes. I think we talked about it on our podcast, on our Patreon. I grew up doing stuff like this. My grandma used to take me on road trips and we'd stop at like roadside attractions and stuff like that. Always liked weird museums, landmarks, even a landmark like the Golden Gate Bridge that I've seen a zillion times. I still look up at it and think like that's pretty cool. Like it doesn't get old to me. I appreciate things a lot, which I'm very happy for. I'm thankful that I think that way. So yeah, I've always explored places like this. Me and Cole used to go explore places just for fun, maybe take pictures or whatever, but we didn't film it. And then when I had the idea for the show, it was a much bigger show. I couldn't find a host. I wasn't even gonna be in it. Finally, I just told Cole, I was like, man, let's just start filming or exploring and having fun. And that turned into the show. So definitely always loved exploring places. I appreciate any kind of place. Definitely natural for me. Where do you see Suit in 5 years? First of all, thank you for saying Suit. I've been trying to push that acronym for a while and it doesn't really pick up. But that's hard to say. We just recently passed our 4-year anniversary. Maybe it was my ego or something, but I thought we'd be a lot further along by now. So I couldn't really say where we'd be in 5 years. I would hope that I could do this as a career. That's really my goal, and I want this show to be big enough to at least pay the bills and pay its way, and also give me the freedom to do bigger, more substantial documentary work on the side. Like if I could do this show like every week like I was doing, and then maybe every year or two release a bigger documentary on something more meaningful, something a little more serious, that would be a dream for me. I love this show and I love how silly it gets and we're just having fun, and deep down it's got heart, you know, like we're trying to show people that there's cool stuff out there and get on out and explore. The world is a lot bigger than living and dying in one little section of it. But I'd also like to do some more meaningful stuff as well and not just goof around and do the robot. What's one stadium you will like to go see besides the Bay Area stadiums? I want to see all of them, first of all. Number 1 on my list is actually Tropicana Field in Tampa Bay. It's supposed to be the worst one, so that's why I want to see it. I want to see the Superdome. I want to see domes, really, because those are a novelty to me. I've never watched football in a dome or baseball. Like baseball, my top 3 ballparks I want to see personally, not just to do videos, is PNC Park in Pittsburgh, Miller Field in Milwaukee, and Wrigley Field in Chicago. Those are like my 3 favorite. Just aesthetically, I want to go to Japan and see baseball in one of their big ugly domes. I want to see Lambeau Field, Soldier Field in Chicago would be awesome. I'm really into vintage history, so any of the old stadiums is really what I want to see. I'd love to see Madison Square Garden. So since the boy's not here, someone actually asked him what's his favorite song by the Rolling Stones. He said it's Satisfaction. Favorite tour you've been on? Well, one of the Candlestick tours with you. Playing catch under the lights on the field at Candlestick was dream come true. So one of those, yeah. And the tour guides were awesome. You and your whole staff at both venues I've been to have been great. So shout out Amanda Tugwell. Best tour guide ever if you're at a sports venue. Favorite video you have filmed so far? That's hard because there's so many, and then I always do a new one that becomes my favorite. I love the Bodie episode. I love the Chukey General Store episode, which doesn't even have that many views. The Preston Castle episode. I think the Gold Rush history ones, came out pretty good. Least favorite would be the Always Sunny one because it gets the most hate. The SS Jeremiah O'Brien, we actually did recently. I don't think it was a very good video because it was my fault. I wasn't in a very good mood when we made it. That was a lesson. Whenever I go back and watch old ones, I'm always like, I should have did this differently. And the cruising on Lake Tahoe on the paddle wheeler, that one means a lot to me, so I like that one a lot. Lightning storm at the Reunion Tower was just such a good time with me and Cole. I love that episode because of that. Coolest person you've met, player or celebrity wise? That's a good one. I gotta think. I have a crazy story about Michael Jackson bumping into me at an antique and collector's show. When I was a kid, I met Merton Hanks a few times. He was super nice. As I mentioned earlier, I did a camp with Royce Clayton. He was awesome. I've seen a lot of celebrities, but I don't usually bother them, so I don't say much. Saw Ice Cube at Disneyland. What's your go-to jersey for each sport? I don't know exactly what you mean, like my favorite jersey to wear or like my favorite what I like. I really like the new all-white Garoppolo throwback. I have an old school Jerry Rice, old school Garrison Hurst. When I was a kid, I had to go find this place and get a custom-made Barry Bonds Giants jersey. This was back in the day when it was a lot harder to buy jerseys. They didn't just sell them. Shout out to my mom though, she went on this adventure with me. We found this sports jersey shop. They made me a stitched Barry Bonds like on-field jersey, so I love that. I love my Gregor Blanco Giants jersey because barely anyone has that. Throwback Ken Griffey Jr. Mariners jersey I love. I have a throwback Sean Kemp Sonics jersey. I have a cool Pete Rose pullover jersey. My first Warriors jersey was a Chris Webber jersey. Hope that answered that question. Not sure. What are you doing to keep busy besides editing? A lot of editing. Playing video games. Like I said, my health hasn't been the best, so I've been really trying to relax. Follow doctor's orders. I've been playing MLB The Show, and my character looks just like me. That's kind of been scratching the itch of wanting to go to a baseball game. I can't stop online shopping. I've bought like 5 pairs of shoes from quarantine. Can't go anywhere. Can't complain. Staying home's easy. I'm super thankful that I'm still getting paid. I can't complain. I'm very fortunate. I'm very lucky. All right, a few more here. Let's do a ghost hunt after all this is over. All right, let's do it. At what age, when did you take up an interest in filming? So I sort of mentioned that earlier, but very young. I got a camcorder and used to take it to Disneyland and film stuff. I did not have an eye for it back then though. I don't know if I do now. I try though. I have some really cool footage I want to put up on my vlog channel. There's a Dylan Sesco channel with some extras on there if you care. Where I got to go to Club 33 at Disneyland, which is like this really hard to get into club. And I had my camcorder and it's like the worst footage ever because I'm just like... What would be your dream trip to make your ultimate YouTube video? Honestly, the Eiffel Tower, man. I want to go to the top of the Eiffel Tower and I want to make a video. I don't think it would be the best video, it wouldn't be the coolest video, but I just want to do it. It would be awesome. And the Super Bowl, especially if the Niners are playing, and we better not lose again. Matterhorn in Switzerland, that's like top 3 things I want to see in life. What do you like to film more, abandoned, sports, pop-ups? Do you have a bucket list place you would love to do a soda at? Well, I just answered the other one. Out of those 3, I think abandoned places are probably the most fun to film because sports aren't fun to film. I'm like way too stressed out and anxious and I don't want to miss, a big play, a big moment, which I always do anyways, no matter how prepared I am. And the pop-ups can be really fun to film depending on if they rush you through or not. Like if they give you time to kind of chill and relax, it's cool. In abandoned places, it depends on if there's security or whatever. But the abandoned ones are a lot of fun to film. Well, I'm all out of questions. Hope I supplied enough answers. If you like more behind the scenes stuff, make sure to check out the Patreon. We got merch on somethingorothertour.com. I really appreciate people that leave comments on the videos, FYI. It helps so much. Thank you to everyone on the front lines, all the essential workers. Catch you on the other side. Like, subscribe, share, do all the cool things cool kids do. Vertlife. Hopefully we can all get back to normal life soon. There's also a really cool video idea that I've been waiting like 8 months to do, but I have to wait for a certain date. It's coming up somewhat soon, so I don't know if it's gonna happen. Could be a very big video if I was lucky and the algorithm chose me. Please, algorithm, please. Since everyone's locked down, why don't you go to all uploads and click play all. Just leave it.